pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot. 2-8 don't face me, now I got my slide. We hunting down snakes, we aim for the hide. Try to judge me, I don't care what you say, cause the people are here and we win either way. Hey yo, shout out to the truckers who be honking on the road, blocking off the bridge even when the weather's cold. Missing out on money, but to them it do not matter. Fighting for their freedom is the reason that they gather. All over the world, anywhere that you can fathom. Ottawa to Paris, no they are not terrorists. Canberra to Vienna, run up a comparison. Trudeau can't stand them, then he try to ban them. Call up an emergency and do it with some urgency, and call up the city police to take away the liberties. But the numbers going strong, you know we never stand alone. We taking back a rest, you better take the story on your phone. Then we go to stage, put the stick up on my plane. Ain't gonna show a back sport, you don't wanna ask for it. Then I'll call the truckers and we call it 18-wheeler force. Block it now and no remorse. Australia to hit the source, they calling for the power so that they can come to take your body, your life, to end your mortal strife. Take away the guns, then take away the funds. Hacking at the fundraisers so we know the hell awaits. And really think they're gonna stop it, but they'll never make a profit. No more water in the faucet, cause the workers don't deposit. For the timers doing violence, rebels got it moving silence. Till it's time to make it loud on the streets and in the cloud. Get banned, stand up, you know we gotta man up. I ain't gonna little timer try to lock us up. Say we gotta wear a mask while they party in the club. Vax that thing up, or I cannot buy us up. Think the politicians forgetting who paid the pay stub. It's only been a couple years, you know that we are fed up. Truck Trudeau in the same gun for Joe. And if you try to lock me down again, then I'ma let it blow. If you try to push the vaccine, I'ma say no. If you think that you're safe, we better run up in your place. We done with the games, we done with the snakes. You better be scared, we'll do what it takes. Patriots pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot.
I won't take the vax, no. Fauci is a backhole. Why you even rap, bro? If you ain't spitting facts, though. Fire like the Bascos. I'll check the swag, bro. Don't trust anyone on news and a lab coat bars. Why they always grifting for the black votes? TikTok pop star, swear it's all an act, bro. Now they want the truckers in the prison cause they mad, so I'ma make a song that made their next turn. Lassos. Call me rap cowboy. Even as a little DC, I was a loud boy. Spitting racist jokes in the class like a proud boy. Okay, who you kidding? I'm a Gavin this McGinnis when I'm rapping like a tabloid. 9/11 inside job. Michelle's got a real big schlong. Probably like 10-inch long. They probably wanna end this song, but we ain't gonna end this song. No, McDonald's fries kill more people than Corona did. Masked up class suffocating all the COVID kids. Let me take a breath. They're praying on the death. I blame it on the left. Daking who you rep. Jesus Christ is the set. I can see that they upset. Gays go to hell. Why? Cause they have anal sex, that's why. Faggot.
Patriots pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot. Stay awake, not woke, I'm tuned in. Your point of view too far, need to zoom in. Ain't got no facts, you assuming. About to call on blue, the way you be cluing. Stay awake, not woke, I'm tuned in. Your point of view too far, need to zoom in. Ain't got no facts, you assuming. About to call on blue, the way you be cluing. Have we had enough of your lies for one night? Have we felt enough of our pain to know it's real? How do you feel? Sick and tired of the lies, all I'm feeling is the pain. It's the devil in disguise while I'm standing in the rain. Water pouring from the sky, but you tell me the opposite. Like I don't have a consciousness, like I'm stuck in the matrix and my brain's up for the taking, but we don't do that. I know my facts. They say that he was elected, but where the stats at? They say that jab the only way to get your life back, but if you have a heart attack then they will go to hide that. Look at the FDA acting like KKK, trying to run all our lives like we they brand new slaves. Lose the job, bent from plain segregation, all the same. They call themselves progressives, but they taking us all back again. Bring the world to darkness and sacrifice the children. Then when it's said and done, then you will never live with hope again. I say that we break the chains, we can't leave the world the same. Make love real again. As we fly above the truth, I ask of God, am I with you? I walk the path, go to the line, but still I feel that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages from all across the world. You are now tuned in to Crump Live. My name is Chandler Crump, and unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not joining you under the most bright and greatest of circumstances because today we are here to announce a death. I have to bring forward the funeral music because today we are here to announce the death
and celebrate the short but monumental life that was CNN Plus. Yes, that is right. Ladies and gentlemen, the short living life of CNN Plus is now over. Moment of silence, please. That's enough of that, though. Let's check in and celebrate. Yes, because today is the end of CNN Plus, and as you can see here, Donald Trump Jr. is not taking it very respectfully. No. He is literally posting a video of someone dancing on the grave, or dancing with the casket of CNN Plus. This is just... it's just wrong. It's just wrong. This meme was put together by a friend of ours, Not Posto on Twitter, amazing guy. So he's been posting memes for a while, and this is just the latest par for the course. As you can see, Dre Fanzo, another infamous meme creator. They've kind of formed a clique. You know, it was originally Carpe Dunctum and that sort of generation. They all got banned, and so now we have Dre Fanzer, Grand Old Memes, Not Poso, Joe King, all these amazing people on Twitter, keeping up with the amazing meme energy. But yes, this is actually a real story. Now, if you or a loved one had no idea what not Disney Plus is, although that's a whole different issue, CNN Plus was, I don't blame you. It was not a major thing. But if you actually go to CNN Plus on Twitter, you'll see that this was a real thing. They had a verified account and everything, and they joined Twitter more than a year ago. So they were working on this for a long while. They started it. It launched in about March of 2022, so at the end of last month. Actually, it's basically the beginning of this month, really. And it has not made it past 21 days. So here's the fancy CNN Plus logo. It's great branding. It looks nice. Of course, this really just shows you where their joke of a network really stood. I mean, look at Anthony Fauci. I think I own these jeans here. Actually, he's looking pretty young and dapper. He's very, very, very short. Come on, guys, y'all couldn't do any better than this. But this is just to show you how this network was doing. Very dismal affairs for their network as far as engagement. Very few followers, despite the fact it is from one of the biggest cable networks in America, something of that sort. We've all been, predicting the death of CNN for a long time, and this is just a real big showing of it. That something that they launched, supposed to be a new step forward for their network, is already falling apart. Everybody has been talking about this, and even their CNN staffers who actually work with it, CNN Plus staffers, are apparently aghast and furious. I'm sorry, I saw this article and I had to throw it in the mix just because they said the words aghast. I found that absolutely hilarious. Christy says, ha ha ha, it's happening, they're all going down. God is absolutely good. Jay Wayne on the old channel says, lol, very appropriate. Good to see you again as well, Jay Wayne. Nice to see you. Make sure you're tuned in on the new channel so that your comments appear on our chat screen over here. But let's check out what the New York Post has to say about this. The shocking announcement that CNN Plus will be shutting down operations.
Stop the cap.
Less than a month after it launched, has left out-of-work staffers aghast and furious over the company's handling of what sources inside the network call an absolute debacle. This is effing crazy. It is nuts, a CNN insider told the Post. This literally rivals the epic disaster of Quibi. I already forgot what that is. I mean, I know what it is, but it's so long ago, the insider said, referring to Jeffrey Katzenberg's short-lived streaming platform that went out of business just 7 months after it launched. CNN Plus, which one insider estimated the network spent $300 million launching and between $200 million advertising, will cease streaming for good at the end of the month. That is a lot of money. 300 million plus 100 to 200 million is, it's not quite billions, but it feels a whole lot like billions for us normal people that just don't have billions to throw around. If we're being honest here, that's a lot of money. All the CNN talent were basically doing double duty. Don Lemon just announced his show a few days ago, but the writing was on the wall when CNN Plus advertising was pulled a few days ago. Chris Licht, CNN's newly installed CEO, for now, who replaced the disgraced Jeff Zucker, broke the news to staffers at a new meeting Thursday. Network insiders were horrified to learn that all junior staffers at the streaming service were let go. The roughly 300 staffers were offered 6-month severance, as well as first dibs on job opportunities within CNN, according to sources. CNN Plus's big-ticket acquisitions, meanwhile, including former Fox News star Chris Wallace and ex-MSNBC reporter Casey Hunt, are expected to be reassigned to the cable news mothership or to other platforms within the Warner Bros. Media empire. Sources told the Post that CNN overspent on talent by giving Wallace $9 million per year, while Hunt was lured away from MSNBC with an annual paycheck of $1 million. It's all falling apart. Derek Metcalf over on Twitch just threw a lol emoji. I've never seen that before. Your color is different than everybody else's. Twitch is interesting for that one. Yeah, Michael says Fauci looked like a mannequin. Oh, come on. Be nice. Come on. She tweeted that her job for the foreseeable future would be to help laid-off staffers find work elsewhere. Oh my gosh. She also paid tribute to the world-class journalists at CNN Plus, tweeting, "I am so incredibly proud to be able to call them colleagues." Well, you were. If your organization would like a chance to benefit from their talents, my DMs are open. She's basically like, please, they need work. Please help us. We need anything you are willing to give us. Just your organization, anything like that, please help us. But let's hear from what CNN is actually saying themselves, because they actually posted to their own website, CNN Business, about it. Let's check this out. CNN Plus, the streaming service that was hyped as one of the most significant developments in the history of CNN, will shut down on April 30th, just 1 month after it launched. Man, it must really hurt for CNN to say that. It must really hurt. CNN Plus customers will receive prorated refunds of subscription fees, the company said. The decision was made by new management after CNN's former parent company, Warner, merged with Discovery to form Warner Bros. Discovery earlier this month. The prior management team's vision for CNN Plus runs counter to Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav's plan to house all of the company's brands under one streaming service. Some CNN Plus programming may eventually live on through that service. Other programming will shift to CNN's main television network. So I guess I sort of understand it. There's sort of... Imagine it like this. Let's say Disney acquired ABC, although they've owned ABC for a while now. Let's say they've acquired ABC, and ABC, before being acquired by Disney, had ABC Plus. And Disney, which just bought ABC and is unifying ESPN and I think Animal Planet, or no, it's National Geographic and Disney Channel and all these different networks under Disney Plus. So of course they're going to say ABC Plus or ABC News Plus or whatever it may be. We're shutting you down in exchange to have all your content on Disney Plus instead. So I guess I can see it from their point of view. That's how you would do it, especially since they're going to be launching whatever Warner Bros. Plus, Discovery Plus. Everything's just adding a plus to it, including the LGBT plus. So obviously, I'm sure they'll come up with something different. Especially, they probably want to get away from the plus branding that comes with the... Man, it runs counter to the division. Interesting. Other programming will shift to CNN's main television network. In a complex streaming market, consumers want simplicity and an all-in service which provides a better experience and more value than standalone offerings, and for the company, a more sustainable business model to drive our future investments in great journalism and storytelling, Discovery streaming boss said in a statement. We have very exciting opportunities ahead in the streaming space, and CNN, one of the world's... I gotta laugh at that. Premier reputational assets will play an important role there. I don't know where you get CNN or reputation in the same sentence as accurate, but man, Jay Wayne says some people will do anything for money. Chris Waltz left the Love Boat for the Titanic. Oh, that's so sad. It really is sad that they consider CNN a reputational asset. I don't even know if that's about news or anything of that nature, but you say CNN to your average person, your average voter, even your average Biden voter, more often than not, they're going to be like, yeah, I mean, I watch CNN, but I don't really trust them. They just say the things I like to hear. Or if you're finding somebody who's really open in the brain, they're going to be like, yeah, CNN, that's where you get fake news. And sometimes they'll say the exact same thing about Fox and Fox Nation. They'll be like, yeah, you know, it's biased news. You can't always trust it. They do a lot of interesting things, but either way, I still can trust one over the other. Maybe I distrust them both in equal amount. People have a lot of opinions over this, but one thing that you cannot deny is that CNN Plus is a major, massive failure and embarrassment with no people watching, barely any subscriptions, and honestly, an abysmal failure on all accounts. Ian Miles Chong posted on Twitter, says, I was wrong. CNN Plus didn't cost $100 million to launch. It cost $300 million. It is the most expensive failed launch in media history. How do you do that, CNN? Not only are you more than likely one of the most failed networks in media history, but you launched one of the most failed launches of a streaming service in media history. I don't know what to say. They could have helped Zelensky fight the Russians for a whole 2 days with that kind of money. Because obviously all the money's getting sent to Ukraine. I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised that actually, I am surprised that CNN didn't consider doing such a thing. But unfortunately, it wasn't just CNN beating themselves up about it, Ian Miles-Strong posting to Twitter about it, and literally everybody on Twitter laughing at them. But even President Trump, who is not currently on Twitter, and we'll talk about that in another episode, he's jumping in on the bandwagon too, and oh my goodness, this is just hilarious stuff coming from you. You gotta read this. Hold on, I gotta pull out the Trump voice for this. Let me rub my hands together. Congratulations to CNN Plus on their decision to immediately fold for a lack of ratings or viewers in any way, shape, or form. It was likely an empty desert out there, despite spending hundreds of millions of dollars and hiring of low-rated Chris Wallace, a man who tried so hard to be his father Mike, but lacked the talent and whatever else is necessary to be a star. In any event, it's just one more piece of CNN and fake news that we don't have to bother with anymore. Truly, Trump is standing on the grave of CNN Plus. Standing on the soon-to-be grave of CNN. Everybody is talking about it. Capricorn on Twitter says he's brutally honest, which, I mean, what can you expect? So I post this on Twitter when Truth Social is such a big platform. Ooh. Truth Social, I've been told, is still in beta. We'll see what happens next, but that's a good point. Although it's not necessarily directly posted on Twitter. It's a statement, but I get what they're saying. It's Jack Posobiec posting it on Twitter, and, you know, that's just what Jack does. Anytime Trump's got a statement, people have to push it out there because, well, he's not on Twitter. So it kind of defeats the comment there. But it really goes to show you censorship is failing. Trump is still finding his way on these platforms, although it is definitely hurting them. CNN Plus is failing, but it may be leading to a much greater thing. So maybe Chris Wallace won't be out of work, and all the CNN Plus staffers might not be out of work immediately, but it's not going to be an easy day over at CNN for all these people. Before we continue on, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to all of our people who are watching here on YouTube, especially shout out to my people watching over on Rumble. Seraph on Rumble says, hello, hello, hello. Crow Chris Wallace, eat it, Crow. I love to see it. Make sure you guys are indeed subscribed to my Rumble channel. As you guys know, YouTube is an absolutely abysmal platform for free speech, and it's only a matter of time before they shut me down. So if you're interested in keeping up with all my content, make sure you're subscribed to our Rumble channel so you never miss out on an episode. If you want to do that, that link is, of course, in the chat right there and in the description. Also want to give a big thank you to our current Hall of Heroes members who are the financial supporters of our channel. So that is St. June and Inespo. Big thank you to them. If you're interested in joining our Hall of Heroes and donating to support our content, you can do so in the description by just heading to donorbox.org/support-Chandler. You'll see the link down there. And then also, you should, if you're on Rumble, for example, you can actually hit the Rumble Rants button, which is the exact same thing as a YouTube Super Chat. So just to show you guys what this looks like real quick, here is our Rumble page. You can see our thumbnail, and this is where you can see the stream. All of our stuff is down here, so My Pillow, subscribing on Rumble, and then you can also donate to the show right here as well, which is donorbox.org. But if you're directly on Rumble, you can actually donate directly, so $5, $10, $20 right here on Rumble, and then you just select your card and you'll be able to send your payment directly to me. So shout out to anybody who's doing that. If you're on Rumble, I really appreciate y'all. 13 watching on Rumble. If you are on Rumble, make sure you hit the plus button right here. I would really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of Rumble. They let me stay on their platform. They never take me down. They never censor me. So great platform right there. Of course, shout out to everybody watching on YouTube and such as well. Also want to give a quick reminder, if you're watching on the old YouTube channel, I do need you to migrate over to the new YouTube channel. The link is, of course, in the description. So my people, Jay Wayne, 2001's Dirty Secret, MMA Fighter 38, Todd Terrell, you guys are watching on the old channel. So I need you to check the description or check in the chat and hit the link that I just posted, and you'll be able to join us over on the new channel. This channel that you're watching on will be retired once again soon. I mean, I come back to stream it every once in a while just to make sure that all my people are off of it. So make sure you subscribe to the new channel. The new channel will look like this, and I'll pull it up real quick so you guys can see it. It will look like this. So this is what the new channel looks like. It says Chandler Crump Live. It has this really dramatic and dark picture of me, and the header will be Year of the Rebel. So make sure you check it out, subscribe to the new channel, and join us over where the new stuff is. So make sure you smash that like button like St. June says. And let's get back to the stories of the day, because unfortunately, we're not done with, well, anything quite yet. We've got a ton more to jump into, and let's change directions a little bit. We're done with CNN Plus. CNN Plus is dead and gone. Dead and gone. Oh, 2001 is already here. He says, on it. Welcome to the new channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. See, I love to see it. You guys migrating on over. This is the new channel. Feel free to subscribe to the old one. We're not going to use it that much, and it will be less confusing. You'll also be able to tell the difference from the old channels. At the old channel, I'll put like a big thing on the thumbnail that says like old channel, subscribe to the new one. So definitely check that out. Let's get going though. Florida House votes 68 to 38 to strip Disney of privilege tax and self-governing status. Woke conglomerate pays the price for publicly bashing Ron DeSantis on the Don't Say Gay bill.
Rub my leg down.
Oh man, it is a bad day to be Disney. Welcome, Todd Terrell. Glad to see you here as well. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hold on, give a round of applause for our new people over here. Appreciate y'all. Florida lawmakers have voted to strip Disney of its special status as a self-governing area as the war between Ron DeSantis and the company rumbles on, I should say. Rumble. It's a fascinating word to use. Let's zoom out here. The Republican-led House gave final passage to a bill that would end the Reedy Creek Improvement District, meaning the firm will no longer be able to operate as a self-contained government. Because I don't know how many of y'all knew, but Disney was basically able to do whatever they wanted. They took over that area, turned it into a theme park, turned it into a city, have been running utilities, power, electricity, and things of that nature. They're suffering now because they decided to go woke, and when you go woke, you turn to crap and you go broke at the same time. It seems as though Mickey and Minnie have joined us in the chamber today. State Rep Randy Fine, who sponsored the bill, said Thursday ahead of the vote as the sound of yelling filled the chamber. Oh, we're going to have to check that out. The House passed the measure with a 68-38 vote after the Senate backed the bill the day before. The legislation will now go to DeSantis' desk for signing. It could come into effect June 1st, 2023. The governor has previously issued support for the measure, saying during a fundraising pitch Wednesday, Disney and other woke corporations won't get away with peddling their unchecked pressure campaigns any longer. If we want to keep the Democrat machine and their corporate lapdogs accountable, we have to stand together now. That's how you do it. The House on Thursday also approved a Senate-passed bill that removes Disney's big tech censorship exemption. Disney did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the changes, and it remains unclear if the company will launch an appeal, but the vote sets up a potential legal battle between the state and the entertainment giant. And as you can see here is an image of, this is Disney World, right? I think it is. I don't know. There's Disney World and there's Disneyland. I think this is Disney World. I have only gone to Disney World once in my life, and it was a long time ago before they went woke or anything of that nature, and I more than likely will not be going back again unless they turn into the Chick-fil-A of theme parks. I will be giving my business to Universal Studios Orlando, which I'm sure is nowhere near perfect, but if I want to go to a theme park and it not be like a Six Flags or a Cedar Fair park, then it's probably going to have to be something like Universal, which I had a really great time. I went very recently during the spring break season, and I really enjoyed myself. I actually posted a tweet of it, a picture of myself posing with one of the characters. I had a great time. So Disney, you're going to be losing a lot of business. In fact, they already are. There was a massive crowds at Universal. It definitely hampered my ability to have a good time, but we had a great time either way. St. June says dismally. Am I using that word a little too much? Am I using dismal, abysmal? It's true though, dismally. They're really suffering though. But let's read it a little bit more from CNN. What is the Reedy Creek District? So you guys can learn a bit more about the ramifications of Disney losing out on this, because this is bigger than even I knew. I knew Disney had a lot of power, but I didn't know it was this crazy. I really didn't. Reedy Creek is the name for the Reedy Creek Improvement District, a special purpose district created by state law in 1967 that gives the Walt Disney Company governmental control over the land in and around its Central Florida theme parks. The district sits southwest of Orlando. At the time, the land was little more than uninhabited pasture and swamp, according to the website. With the special purpose district, Disney took over responsibility for providing municipal services like power, water, roads, and fire protection, but were also freed from dealing with legal red tape or paying taxes for services that benefited the broader public. According to Richard Fogelsong, the author of the book Married to the Mouse, Disney had previously had issues with the government of Anaheim at its Disneyland park, completed a decade earlier. With those issues in mind, Disney pushed for a special purpose district in Florida that would give the company the ability to self-govern. In exchange, Florida would become the home base for Disney World and its scores of tourists. Florida needed Disney more than Disney needed Florida, Fogelsong told CNN. Today, the Reedy Creek District encompasses about 25,000 acres, counties, including 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and a sports complex, 175 lane miles of roadway, 65 miles of waterway, and the cities of Bay Lake and Lake Buena Vista. The cooperation and commitment between the Reedy Creek Improvement District and Walt Disney World is as strong today as it was when the district was created in '67. The result is an example of how a working partnership between business and government can be prosperous on both sides. Unfortunately, it's not 1967 anymore, and Disney has grown. Not Disney, well, Disney has grown, but Florida has grown as well. Those districts aren't empty anymore. I visited them very recently. They're doing pretty well for themselves. The bill passed by Florida's legislature is a form of political retaliation against Disney for its, this is CNN, parental rights in education, which critics have termed "Don't Say Gay." That state legislation signed into law last month prohibits schools from teaching children about orientation and identity, yada yada. We've gone through this. Live, vague language, whatever. The CEO of Disney, which employs 75,000 people in Florida, initially declined to condemn the law, but reversed course after facing employee criticism. At least they're honest about that. A company spokesperson released a statement last month stating its goal is for the law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts. Florida, HB 5057, known by as the Don't Say Gay bill, should never have passed and should have never been signed into law, the statement said. And so we don't need to dig into the bill, but that goes to show you what this Reedy Creek law, or with this Reedy Creek district, how big of a deal it was, and the fact that Disney is going to be losing out on it is a real pain. Now, looking at Disney's recent proceedings as far as how they've been handling their business, you can tell that the parks aren't a major concern for them. They realize that Disney Plus streaming is a major cash cow for them, but there's also some efforts happening against Disney's exemption for big tech censorship as well. So a lot of little things happening there. If you want to learn a lot more about that, there's other YouTubers out there that spend a lot more time talking about Disney than I'm willing to. I don't want to dig all that much further, but I do want to talk a little bit more about those people who were screaming and yelling inside the Senate chamber, or inside the Florida congressional chamber when this happened, the state assembly. It was funny. We're going to check in on that in a minute, but one thing I want to do real quick is once again remind all of my people watching on the old channel that we're going to be shutting down the stream over this. So we have 5 people left. I want to remind you guys to be checking in over on the new channel. I'll drop that one last time in the chat so you guys can tune in before we shut down that stream. If you're watching on the new channel, you don't have to worry anything about that. Just real quick, if you're on the old channel, I just dropped the link in the chat one more time. If the stream ends for you, just check in the description and you'll find your way over to our new channel and you'll keep up with our stream here. But I'm going to cut it off on the old channel now. So peace out to all y'all on the old channel. Make sure you subscribe to the new channel and join us over here. We'll just cut that off and we're done. Okay, great. Now for everybody who's still watching me, congratulations. It means you're in the right place. If the stream cut off for you a second ago, I don't know how you're hearing me now, but make sure you are subscribed to the new channel. And welcome. Let's read a few chat messages. Todd says, I just had a free stay on Disney at $800 a night for 5 nights. They are still confused by their leftist views, law, COVID protections. Let's see what they say after mass trans mask mandate is null. We've got some news about that. The White House might be retaliating against that as much as they claimed that they might not actually do it. Seems like they might be getting in there. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I don't know. Do I expect Disney to change? Probably not, but yeah, no, they really are controlled and hamstrung by the LGBT lobby. I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, I used to watch Disney Channel not too many years ago, and the encroachment of the values of the LGBT was even available on that channel for young people. In fact, there's a major show on there that, I mean, I don't personally watch, but I know friends of mine and younger people I know that watch that show that have been talking to me like, Chandler, I don't know why Disney has this on their show. I mean, it's such a weird thing to include on a channel that is advertised for children. And Disney in and of itself is a family company for youth. Why is the LGBT lobby, the LGBT agenda, and their employees working so hard to make sure that this is the thing that the company is going to stand against the Don't Say Gay bill? I don't know. It really begs a lot of questions, but I'm not going to dig too far into that because, of course, YouTube will me. But if you guys want to keep up with a little bit more of my less restricted talk, then once again, make sure you are subscribed to my Rumble. There will be exclusive content coming very soon to Rumble where I speak my mind. It'll be Chandler Crump Uncensored. Maybe we can call it that, or come up with a more unique name since there's a ton of shows called insert name here Uncensored nowadays. But let's jump into this next subject about chaos breaking out during the Florida legislature session as they passed special session bills. What is happening in Florida? Because it seems like they just cannot get out of the news right now, can they? They just cannot. All 3 initiatives spelled out in the Florida legislature's special session on redistricting special independent districts passed, some without debate Thursday, shown in dramatic video from the session. Just before the session had temporarily paused as Democratic members protested the redistricting bill, claiming the maps minimized black voters' voices. When lawmakers returned to the chamber for voting, members shouted over the process as the House Republican members voted to pass all 3 bills. Clerk will lock the machine and log the presence of a quorum, House Speaker Chris Sprouls reported. Sprouls commented on the protests of some of his colleagues, saying they were disruptive but the legislative process would be finished. A quorum was reached with 107 members voting, and the House Speaker announced the chamber was back in session. Sprouls then yielded the floor back to Chairman Tom Leek to close the debate. The entirety of the concussion, shouts of protest, and chanting could be heard. Leek waved close, putting the final passage of the first of 3 bills, the new congressional map, to vote. Sprawls noted vote 68-38, passing on the partisan lines, to which the Republican members applauded. I want to see if, does this article have the video, or I think it was a different article that had the video of the people actually screaming and yelling, or do I even have that? Hold on, let me pull that up for you guys real quick. Florida House yelling, because I want you guys to see that they were legitimately people just screaming and yelling. So here it is on Twitter. Pull this up for you guys real quick so you guys can get an idea of how loud this was.
These two bills. It is my hope that we will be able to proceed civilly and with decorum and with respect for one another. Read the next bill.
By Senator Bradley, Senate Bill 4C, a bill to be entitled an act relating to independent special districts.
Wow. They actually muted the mic. Mickey and Minnie have joined us.
As Mickey and Minnie have joined us in the chamber today.
Oh, you love to see it. You really do love to see it. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Mickey and Minnie have joined us in the chamber. Don't you just love to see it? Don't you just love to see it? So there's people talking about the chaos that was ensuing. People protesting because of this entire bill about black votes, so they claim. But let's dig a little bit more into this new congressional map that is cementing GOP gains, which was authored and will soon be signed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Why are these people screaming so hard about it, right? The Florida Senate on Wednesday signed off on a new congressional map pushed by Ron DeSantis that promises significant gains for Republicans and would dismantle and dilute 2 current districts held by black Democrats. The Senate approved the new map on the straight party line 24-15 vote after a nearly 2-hour debate during which Democrats assailed the proposed map as unconstitutional because it would diminish the voting power of black voters. I don't really know where in the Constitution it specifically states that voting power of black voters must be upheld. I know it states the voting power of Americans and Floridians must be upheld. I don't really understand how that's changing, but either way. Democrats also repeatedly faulted their GOP colleagues for passing a map drawn up by the governor's office. Throughout this process, Ron DeSantis has thrown childish tantrum after tantrum, all in an attempt to boost his own political prospects, and it is frankly embarrassing that my Republican colleagues lack the backbone to stand up to the governor's playground-style bullying, said State Senator Chevron Jones after the vote. Republicans countered that the map was a compromise measure and that the governor has a legitimate role to play in congressional redistricting. We would be abdicating our responsibility if we failed to pass a map and allowed the courts to do it, said State Senator Ray Rodriguez. Florida gained 1 congressional seat in 2022 due to population growth for a total of 28. Republicans currently hold a 16-11 edge, and the map that was initially approved by the legislature last month would have increased the GOP advantage by 2 seats. But DeSantis vetoed the legislation, contending that it was unconstitutional because the map would have preserved a Jacksonville area district in which a black candidate was likely to get elected. That's a strange way to place it. I don't think it was under that case whatsoever, but either way. The map approved by the Senate dismantles the North Florida seat now held by Al Lawson, a black Democrat, and will potentially lead to a flip of the seat in the Tampa Bay area now held by Rep. Charlie Crist, who is not seeking a new term because he's running for governor. What? Okay. The Central Florida district held by retiring Representative Stephanie Murphy would also become a GOP-friendly district. The Florida House is expected to send the map to DeSantis no later than Thursday. Democratic-aligned groups have already promised to sue to challenge the map, arguing that runs afoul of federal voting laws and Florida's anti-gerrymandering standards that were approved by voters. They're clearly desperate. They want to keep their votes. They want to keep their seats, but unfortunately for them, it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. And I think very soon in 2022, the GOP is going to take a hard advance in the House and more possibly than not, get that majority back, which is going to put a huge lockstep against the Biden-Kamala administration. Todd Terrell says, I think Disney wants to get ahead of the issues. They want to keep the cogs oiled. They want the money machine to keep moving. Statements and rainbows is a monetary move. They could care less. Interesting. Normalizing it and possible grooming. Yeah, we've talked about that for sure, but there's a lot of things happening. And I don't know. There's a lot of cogs in motion, as you can say, keep the cogs oiled, but this Florida thing is pretty big. Florida gaining a good amount of seats right here. Actually, it said in the article. Let's find that part again. They're going to have 28 seats in total, and they gained one seat in this last redistricting time. So they've gained 1 seat due to population growth, which really goes to show you people are moving to Florida like crazy. We talked about it last year. There was a total of like 100 and so million people that visited Florida, a million Americans, I should say. There's more than that were not Americans. I can tell you from, this is anecdotal, but from personal experience, when I was in Universal just a few weeks ago, there was a lot of people I heard that were British. It was really funny. There was a lot of British accents, people, I guess, on holiday from the United Kingdom that were visiting Universal, visiting visiting Florida, visiting Orlando. Like they had their children, some of them on leashes, which was weird. I guess that's a British thing, but they were all around there. A lot of British accents, so I guess their spring break kind of lined up with our spring break here in the South. I heard a lot of British voices, so definitely a sort of a balance there. But 100 million or so more Americans that visited Florida in 2021. It's a big state. Big things are happening, and it just seems like they cannot manage to get out of the news. But, well, that's going to conclude Florida for now. But moving on to a bit more north, a bit more cold, and a ton more swampy, which is hard to beat Florida as for being a swamp, is Washington, D.C. The White House, unfortunately, is having to work very hard to beat back Biden and his unique and non-stop gaffes. Just today, he was giving the press a piece of his mind, basically. And they were asking him some questions, and he just, I don't even know how to describe it. He went off his rocker. The White House had to mop up another embarrassing Biden gaffe, this time confusing immigration and the mask mandate. Because somehow, people jumping the border and people refusing to wear a mask on the plane, or no longer having to wear a mask on the plane, somehow is in the same realm. I don't really understand how, but let's jump into this. The White House was forced to mop up a mess left by President Joe Biden after he made another embarrassing gaffe when a reporter asked him about the rescission of the Title 42 border policy. Biden appeared to mistake the issue of the Title 42 on Thursday with that of the judge's order that ended the public transit mask mandate. Are you considering delaying lifting Title 42? Asked the reporter. Time to bust out the Biden impression. No. What I'm considering continuing is continuing to hear from my... First of all, there's going to be appeal by the Justice Department because it's a matter of principle. We want to be in a position that whether if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
Rub my leg down.
And you ain't black. And you ain't black. And you ain't black.
So sad. Video of Biden's gaffe went viral on social media among his critics and detractors. Let's check it out. Oh, no, that's a different thing. I think we have it down here. There we go. Well, let's turn it down a little.
On Title 42, sir, are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
If you heard my impression just a second ago, let's compare my impression to how Joe Biden actually sounds. You ready? Drum roll, please. Hold on. Drum roll, please.
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from my first of all, there's going to be an appeal.
Oh my gosh.
By the Justice Department.
No, I got it perfectly. I even nailed his, oh my gosh.
Because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
I really did a bang-up job. I am going to pat myself on the back. I'm doing it. Patting myself on the back for that one. We can do a live replay. You can go back 30 seconds and hear my Biden impression and then compare it to what you just heard. I got it all the way down from the to the scratching of the temple right there. I really got it down pat. I'm proud of myself for this one. I want to clarify that in comments at the conclusion of my remarks this morning, I was referring to the CDC's mask mandate, and there is in no Department of Justice action on Title 42. The White House has often issued clarifications to mistakes Biden made in public comments, but it is rare that they issue a personal statement from the president to clarify them. The gaffe is the latest in numerous examples where Biden has made confusing comments. Critics have cited these videos to bolster the campaign to force Biden out of office based on provisions in the 25th Amendment on presidents who are unable to fulfill the duties of the presidency. It's crazy. It is crazy that he's allowed to stay in office after this mess right here, or the fact that on stage after a speech he was just trying to shake hands with absolutely nobody. Seriously? That's why I called it the Biden-Kamala administration just a minute ago, because he's just holding us over, truly. And that's the entire point of having Kamala as the vice president. We all know it, but it all falls back to the Democratic Party. I said it in 2020. You can literally go back to when everything was different. Trump was still in office. You could still ask me. And I said back then, we're not electing Biden. We're not even really electing Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's going to be in office real soon. Because as much as Biden says, I'm going to run for office again in 2024, we're going to do it. We're going to do it as long as you rub my leg down. As much as he says it, Kamala Harris is going to be the one that will be running for office again in 2024. She will probably be taking office before the end of the year. Mark my words. But we're not electing either of them. It is the Democratic Party that we're electing, and without a shadow of a doubt, it's Obama. Now, speaking of Obama, though, he's obviously not taking his gray-haired self out of the news cycle quite yet. Yes, I have to bully him for having gray hair. Of course I'm going to do it. He went on at Stanford Cyber Policy Center with the Obama Foundation. Interesting, but he was giving a speech regarding the vaccines, and, well, he said something that really confirms everything that we've been saying for a long time. All of our
I'm a mask rebel. No, I will not wear your muzzle.
aren't quite looking like crackpots anymore. Despite the fact that we now have essentially clinically tested the vaccine on billions of Americans or billions of people worldwide, around 1 in 5 Americans is still going to put themselves at risk rather than get vaccinated. I don't think my Obama impression is quite as good, but let's take a listen to what he actually said.
And yet, despite the fact that we've now essentially clinically tested the vaccine on billions of people worldwide, around 1 in 5 Americans is still willing to put themselves at risk and put their families at risk rather than get vaccinated.
Rather than get vaccinated.
People are dying because of misinformation.
Because of misinformation. I don't know, maybe it's not so bad. I think my Obama impression might actually be better than my Trump impression, now that I'm thinking about it. He didn't use any uhs in this speech, which is surprising, because, but Obama, sorry, I'm mixing up all their names, but Biden is the one that's always like, if, and the but I guess he's not doing that this time. So that's how we clinically test things now? Just give it to everyone and see what happens? I'm sure this clip won't be used in future anti-vax stuff. Oh, it sure will. Sure will. Crime against humanity, dang. Josh Barnett for Congress says, don't hide the risk factors. Pfizer tried to cover it for 75 years and what's actually inside the experimental shot. Might want to start there, Obama. Derek Metcalf says, I want to know where my vote went. Todd says, meaning shut down the other view. I don't know what to tell you. St. June says earlier, yes, you did nail it, though. Thank you. My Biden impression is top of the line. It beats all the other impressions. I might have one of the best Biden impressions, aside from maybe that one guy on TikTok. He does a really good one. He also says, sorry, Chandler, you still make more sense than Biden. Unfortunately, that is the only way I will never be able to fully capture his essence. I just speak too clearly. I will never get the Biden terminology. I cannot do that. I don't know how he does that. I can't do it. I really can't. But unfortunately for Obama, this isn't the only thing that's popping up on him in the news cycle right now. No, he actually lost his Spotify deal with Barack and Michelle Obama. They had a deal for, I guess, some sort of podcast. I had never listened to it, so I had no idea this even existed. But if you had told me this was a thing a month ago, I wouldn't have been surprised. Let's check this out, shall we? The Obamas are searching for a new home for their podcast after Spotify reportedly declined to offer the former first couple a new contract because they didn't make enough personal appearances on the streaming service. Interesting. Barack and Michelle Obama were reportedly in talks with several companies, including Amazon's Audible and iHeartMedia, on a deal that will likely be worth tens of millions of dollars, according to Bloomberg. The ex-president and the former first lady, who co-own the production company Higher Ground, let me just turn this off here, will reportedly decide on their podcasting platform of choice sometime within the next few weeks. Higher Ground is said to be seeking an arrangement that would allow it to release shows on several platforms simultaneously. One of the sticking points in negotiations with Spotify was the Swedish company's insistence on an exclusive licensing deal. What? Interesting. Even if the Obamas produce podcasts for other companies, those shows will all, in likelihood, make their way to Spotify anyway. Streaming services want the Obamas to make more frequent appearances themselves in order to generate more buzz for the company's content, but the former first couple is reportedly willing to commit to no more than an 8-episode program. Higher Ground was reported $25 million after signing with Spotify in 2019. So interesting stuff coming from the Obamas there. They just can't get out of the news cycle. They really can't. Talking about the vaccines, losing their Spotify shows. People are obviously up in arms about this. Your chance of dying of a heart attack from that vaccine, according to their own studies, is 500% greater than if you're unvaccinated. So they know that they were going to kill a lot of people if they did it anyways. Oof, that's right there. Propaganda show, no doubt, says Todd Terrell. Honestly, I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. But unfortunately, this COVID mess is not quite over yet. Now, something we've covered quite a bit recently, it's been a big thing in the news, is the fact that a judge in Florida has struck down the travel mask mandate. And I know plenty of people that are rejoicing, taking flights, posting pictures, talking about how there's other people still wearing masks, and they're quite literally laughing at them. But the Biden White House, the DOJ, and maybe even the CDC or trying to put a stop to this. The DOJ says it will appeal to revive mask mandate if the CDC determines it's still needed. We haven't heard from them quite yet, but we will see soon. The Justice Department said Tuesday it will appeal a court ruling that struck down the mask mandate for travelers, but only if the CDC determines the mandate is still necessary to protect public health. The DOJ and CDC disagree with the district court's decision and will appeal, subject to CDC's conclusion that the order remains necessary for public health, said Anthony Coley. The department continues to believe that the order requiring masking in the transportation corridor is a valid exercise of the authority Congress has given the CDC to protect public health. Before the mandate had been struck down, the Biden admin had extended the requirement through May 3rd, which required masks to be worn aboard public transit on planes, trains, and other things. The CDC was set to assess whether the mandate was still needed until May 3rd, which obviously they would just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. If CDC concludes that a mandatory order remains necessary for the public's health after that assessment, the DOJ will appeal the district court's decision. The move comes after the Justice Department had spent much of the last day considering whether to fight a court decision that caught much of the administration, airline, and local public transit departments and everyday Americans off guard. An appeal would mean that the administration would head to a higher court to extend the mandate, despite the fact that many airlines and public transit systems have already decided to make masks optional following the court ruling. If an appeal happens, it would be a risky move that would limit the government's ability to make similar mandates in the future. If the 11th Circuit, which oversees appellate challenges from Florida, upholds the ruling striking down the mandate, it will be precedent for all other federal courts in that circuit, which covers the Southeast. A Supreme Court ruling upholding the decision to strike down the mandate would make the judges' conclusions about the CDC authority binding nationwide, which would mean they could not fight it anywhere else and would severely limit the government's power. Isn't that great how our system works like that? We'll have to see. Masks aboard Air Force One. Joe Biden said he wasn't sure if the administration would appeal the decision. When asked in New Hampshire if he wanted the Justice Department to appeal the mask ruling, he said, "I haven't spoken to the CDC yet." Which is funny because at the same time, he also said, "It should be up to you." Literally, I'll pull it up. Hold on real quick. I want you guys to see this. This is literally what he was saying yesterday. It should be the people's choice. Hold on, let's see if I can find that. Yeah, that's up to them. Right here. I love that I keep all my topics in a neat little folder. Let's check this out right here. You can hear him say it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You did a great job up here.
Try. You know, this is a lot of economic impact for the city.
I brought some extra.
His words.
Yeah.
Mr. President, should people continue to wear masks on planes?
That's up to them.
He said what now?
Them.
On planes?
That's up to them.
Nope.
Joe, you're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that. Once again, he had to come back around and say, no, what I meant to say is, the CDC, I have not spoken to them yet, in his obviously robot voice, because they're the ones that make the choices in this world, not him. Despite the fact that he's supposed to be the leader of the free world, the leader of the United States, the duly elected president of the United States, he has no say in these matters. I haven't spoken to the CDC yet. I haven't gotten any brief from my CDC. I don't know. We're following the science. Follow the science. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra had earlier suggested on Tuesday that such a move was likely. We are right now in the process of deciding and will likely appeal the ruling. Stay tuned. I also have the video of him saying that. He actually had quite a few things to say, but hold on, let me see. Where is that? I think I have it right here. Is it this one? It might be this one, maybe. No, although that is a pilot announcing that. That's a good one. That's a pilot announcing that the masks are now optional. Really great, really great. Is it this one? If it's not this one, then I'll have to look around later for it. All right, well, either way, it's a true thing. Xavier Becerra did actually say it's likely we'll appeal the ruling. So we'll have to see what happens. As you can see, even CNN Politics, which is as far crazy as you can get, is saying it's a risky choice for them to make. We don't know if they're going to be doing it. Rebecca Kaplan says, where's the Easter Bunny when you need him? Yes, somebody call the Easter Bunny, corral Biden, make him stop messing up and saying what he's saying. Obviously, he's going off the rocker. Somebody call the Easter Bunny, fix this now, please. Joe, just come this way, Joe. Don't talk to them.
Rub my leg down.
Poor Joe. Joe mama. It is so sad. Alright, St. June says, these libtards are the same creatures who used to laugh at and harass Asians wearing masks. I was always against wearing masks all my life, except during a bad allergy season or when it's super cold. And that's, you know, when it may be helpful. But for a virus like COVID, it's not going to help you all that much. But if it makes you feel safer, that's what's most important. But the choice should be up to the person. You know, if you're too scared of COVID to go out, then don't go out. That's the whole thing that we've been starting from the beginning. I'm not talking specifically to you, St. June. I know where you stand. I'm talking about the average person who's on these flights saying, "I'm still wearing my mask." You know, let's see if I can just find a random thing on Twitter. Still wearing mask. Let's just look up the words "still wearing mask" and see. I think they will remove the mask mandate soon, or maybe today. If they do, I think I'll still be wearing a mask when possible. That's just a normal one. But for those of you who are going to continue to wear a mask on your flights, how you respond to a passenger asking why you're still wearing. Let's see if I can find like a video, because I think there's videos of people saying I'm still wearing my mask and like photos and such of that nature. I haven't taken the time to like stay looking at them, although I guess you could just see. Hands up if you're still wearing a mask because you give a dang about others. Am on the metro, still wearing mask. This is from a little while ago, though. This is okay. So here you go. The flight I'm on just held the main door open to wait for a passenger to board who was in the bathroom vomiting. So if you're wondering why I'm still wearing a mask on flights for the time being, there's your answer. And yes, now we're delayed. Okay, what does that have to do with COVID? I'm still wearing a mask not because I want to, but because I need to. I'm doing everything I can to keep masks on while COVID persists. Not because I'm trying to tell others what to do, because I care about others being safe and protecting both them and me. Yada yada. Lots of people still parading around. Still wearing this because I don't trust none, y'all. Yeah, okay, bro. Okay. Leaving on a jet plane, wearing my mask because people are still nasty. I hope you feel safe. I really do. And if people laugh at you, sorry? That's the most I could say. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are going to be laughing at non-mask wearing people and being like, ha ha, you're going to die of COVID. And sometimes they're going to be like, ha ha, I hope you die of COVID, which was really despicable things. But we saw that happen. People that were literally celebrating when paragons of just amazing people like Herman Cain sadly passed away to COVID. People were celebrating. People were saying, "Ha! Trump killed Herman Cain with COVID." How do you feel about that one? In fact, if we look up, I think Trump killed Herman Cain on Twitter. I saw a tweet of that nature as well. People will tweet the most insidious things. For one, Trump killed Herman Cain with COVID. Two, since when the F is Ben Shapiro black? Talking about something else. We don't need to worry about that. But talking about Trump killed Herman Cain with Herman Cain trending, it's a good time to remind people that Donald Trump killed him with COVID. This is disgusting that these people were willing to push such a thing. Who killed Herman Cain? We killed Herman Cain. Trump killed Herman Cain. Are you serious? Are you gonna let the man's name calm down? You gonna let him rest? I didn't see people saying anything about, what was her name, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and she did not die of COVID-19 or anything of that nature, but you would believe it. You would believe it if people were pushing it the way that they're pushing this Herman Cain thing. And yes, Herman Cain did die of COVID, and it was after a Trump rally, but the way that they're pushing this is the most asinine thing. Herman Cain made the choice to go to the Trump rally. Herman Cain was not masked, or at least was not masked for a period of time during it. It's his own choices. Unfortunately, that's the way things happen. It affects older people. It affects people that are not healthy. Herman Cain wasn't a super young person. But the way that they're pushing this shows you that it's nothing about science. It's nothing about health. It's nothing even about caring about another human being as much as people want to virtue signal and say that they are. It is about politics. It is about advancing their own agenda. That's why the Biden administration, as much as they're saying we're going to trust the science, isn't actually trusting the science in any way, shape, or form. They're simply trying to trust what their power, what the CDC, what these bureaucrats are telling them what to do, which is saying, well, let's keep them masked up so that they want to vote for us again. And let's keep them masked up so that, I don't know, they feel like they're submissive to us. They submit to us. They submit to our rule, to our power. They have to listen to us. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me, but it is what it is. They'll push everything that they want to push, and, well, we're supposed to follow until we stand up. We're supposed to follow until we bow down. Will we let them have the power? I don't think so. Rebecca Kaplan says, play the video of Dr. Patel saying you should ask people on planes to wear a mask. It's hysterical. Hold on, I might have to find this. Let's see here if I could, like, Dr. Patel mask on plane. Masks on planes. I want to see if, that's a good one, Rebecca. Let me check that out. Is it safe to wear on mask? Okay, so here it is. Let's see here if I can pull this up.
People want to stay safe. The best thing they can do, high quality masks. And that when possible, carry some extra masks. I know this sounds crazy, but if you tell someone next to you on a plane, KN95 and just say, or surgical mask, and just say, I've got an elderly mother at home. I've got a child with cancer at home. Will you please do me a favor? Having the people at least closest to you in that row, protecting yourself and them, can be the best safety. So carry.
That's really funny. That is funny. And she's so serious about it too. She's got that really dead look. She's got that dead look on her face. She's like, just wear the mask and tell the people in your aisle to also wear the mask. She looks like she is not living anymore. She's a husk. She's a trust the science bot. You know that, hold on, you know that, you guys know that image of the NPC vaccinated NPC image. Let me see if I can figure out like the exact image I'm thinking of. Yes, yes. Okay, this image right here. She really is the spitting image of this image right here. Like, look at it. Like, put them side by side. Just switch between them real quick. You can see it, right? You can see it, right? Like is that sweat? I don't know what these little droplets are. It's the droplets. But she really has that look on her face. Like she does not think anymore. She's just regurgitating the science, regurgitating whatever it may be. I don't know. St. June says, oh yes, I have these people living in my building. It's really frustrating. You give them freedom and they refuse it, right? You get these people so hooked on the government, so hooked on just following whatever Daddy Fauci says, and someday they're just going to give into it. St. June says, Rebecca Kaplan, exactly. And Rebecca also said, forgot that prior to 2021, no one ever died, especially elderly people, right? Yeah, no one has ever died before COVID-19 came along, right? Craziness. She says, lol, Chandler's face. Yeah. It really is. It really is. I don't know what more to say. St. Juice says, Science Spot, I think she's even more death looking. Come on, guys. All right. I'm gonna try to be respectful. Hey, Chandler, didn't you go to Disney recently with Vince Dow, or am I mixing things up? No, I didn't go to Disney, and I don't think Vince Dow went to Disney either. That was not me. But thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Clearing that up.
Carry some extra masks with you. Carry some rapid tests with you if you're traveling.
Rapid tests? What, are you gonna sit next to someone and be like, hey, dude, can you wear this mask? Yeah. Also, hey, before you wear this mask, can I just jam this up your nose real quick, just to make sure we're both safe, we're both obeying the science. I mean, there's not enough space on this plane for there to be 6 feet, but let me just come here. And he's like, no, wait, back up. I just did the mask to make you feel better, but hey, back up. Like, are they you just gonna shove the test up someone's nose, really?
People at least closest to you in that row, protecting yourself and them, can be the best safety. So carry some extra masks with you. Carry some rapid tests with you if you're traveling.
It's funny stuff. This is why networks like MSNBC or MS13DNC are suffering. MS13DNC are suffering. CNN and CNN Plus, or CNN minus, CNN negative, CNN in the red, as many people are calling it, is suffering so bad. You can see it, because this is the madness they're pushing. Make sure you test the people in your row. Let's see what the people in the comments are saying. If I want to stay safe, I should never, ever listen to a self-righteous, arrogant, someone-educated loudmouth like Kavita Patel. Wow, seriously? Still claiming that placebos keep you safe? You would think that a doctor would know that actual data, but that's apparently not the case here. I would like to get laughed at. Go ahead and ask me to put it on. My parents didn't raise your hero. They didn't raise the person responsible for your well-being. They raised someone who really doesn't care about you. They raised someone that concerns himself with himself and his family, not you and yours. I don't know what that one's about. That one's in Spanish. If you feel that way, stay off public transportation. Come at me, bro. I love the comments under here. That's just a quick clip. But let's see if I can... Is this the full clip right here? It might be. Okay, great. Let's see what the actual comments on MSNBC's page is. And actually, before... Oh, my gosh. If you guys don't know, YouTube actually disabled the ability for you to see dislikes. So I have a little thing that reopens them, and it's like an estimate. But dang, 82 likes to about 492 dislikes is sad for a thing with only 5,000 likes. Put that in perspective. This was posted 3 days ago on April 19th. What is that, 3 or is it 2? I don't know. A couple days ago on April 19th, on the MSNBC channel with nearly 5 million subscribers, only 300 comments. Time to follow the science about masks. I am for choice on wearing masks. Free for you to wear one if you like. She's going to get someone into an altercation. I guarantee someone is going to get on a plane demanding the person beside them wear a mask, then watch a fight start. Like Mike Tyson. Hey, just make up a big story to tell you fellow travelers. Yeah, my kid's got cancer. What a cluck. Absolutely not. Fool me once scenario. At one, unbelievable. Remember that the sick woman was on Obama's staff.
Oh. Yeah. So if people want to stay safe, the best thing they can do, high quality masks, and that when possible...
Yeah, so this is the same thing. 10% for the big guy. People are just destroying MS13DNC in the comments, destroying... Oh my gosh, the face. I really found the perfect face to pause on right here. You guys can't tell me you don't see it, right? Look at her face. I know this isn't, it's a less flattering image, but it really shows you the NPC vibes coming from this lady, right? You guys see it too. It's not just me, right? Take your best shot. Oh, it's really funny stuff. I don't know. Home that I love says, so sad they're terribly fearful of viruses. No way. I trust God, not a nasty paper mask, which are very big on polluting too. Like, these masks are literally littering the nation, the world. They're all over the place. I was in Universal, for example. I know I'm bringing this up a ton, but I was in Universal. Of course, they didn't require me to wear a mask. They didn't require me to be vaccinated or anything like that. I took my risks. They didn't require me to test negative or anything like that. And there was no stupid reservation system like Disney has right now. So I was able to just buy my ticket, walked through the front gate, spent time with friends and family, had a great time, and, you know, things of that nature. Anyways, the point of the story I'm telling here is that everywhere I would go on the queue for rides, there was like masks just littered on the ground. People that took them off, threw them away, sometimes in the trash can, but more often than not, just on the ground, which, I don't know, you know, I'm not one for the big climate thing, but I don't think those masks are biodegradable, if we're being honest. So these are just going to be ending up in the throats of poor turtles, if that's what we're talking about. Meanwhile, paper straws, which do absolutely no benefit, but just destroy the taste of your drink and end up in your mouth, you're swallowing the paper. That's what we're doing? Are you serious? I don't know, guys. It's all about politics. It's not about the science. It never has been about the science. It's not about the climate. It's not about health. It's never been. It's frustrating to me. I have a personal vendetta against paper straws. Every time I see a paper straw, I might scream. I'll turn into a 17-year-old Karen, and I'll start complaining to the staff of whatever restaurant tried to serve me a paper straw. And unfortunately, at Universal, they did have paper straws. So that's a mad L on Universal's part, but still I had a great time. Rebecca says the microplastics from these masks is a major environmental issue. Carbon nanotubes, just like asbestos, the next mesothelioma. I actually posted about this on Twitter. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I want to pull this up real quick. I said, yummy microplastics. Right here, there it is. Let me show this to you guys here. Microplastics found deep in lungs of living people for the first time. And then right under it is an ad for disposable 3-ply face mask with polypropylene, and that's the exact same particles that were found in the lungs of people. Delicious microplastics, right? Delicious. I wouldn't be surprised if that same stuff is in straws. Hold on. How do you spell that? Polypropylene? Hold on. Polypropylene. And then I'm just gonna see, is it in paper straws? It's probably not. This is like conspiracy theory stuff right here, but hold on. What? Paper, this is a great alternative. These clear polypropylene straws are a much thicker and more durable plastic. Okay, so it's a different type of plastic. Okay, cool. So it doesn't look like it's in paper straws, but I don't know. Just quick conspiracy theory research right there. I was curious. Thankfully not, but I'm still not using paper straws. I'll just sip from the drink. I'll sip from the little hole in the drink if I have to. Rebecca says, lol, ad for masks. Yeah, great one bringing up the microplastics. I wanted to reference that real quick. Want to give a big thank you to everybody who's been tuned into our show today. I really appreciate it. As you guys know, we've recently changed the schedule for how we do live streams on this channel, so we will be back again tomorrow for the Chandler Brief at 3 on Fridays. But we will only be doing them on Fridays and Mondays from now on. So Fridays and Mondays at 3. Once again, that is Fridays and Mondays at 3 for the Chandler Brief. And then Crump Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is our live stream schedule. Write it down. Throw it in your phone's calendars. Throw it in your phone's alarms so you never miss an episode. And be sure you keep tuning in each and every time. We have new topics, new stuff, new great content coming soon, and I hope you guys don't miss out on it. I want to give a big thank you to all of the people who are watching over on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and join to the Think Tank right here on YouTube. And also, shout out to my people over on Rumble. I love our numbers over on Rumble. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our Rumble channel as well. Absolutely zero censorship. They stand for my right to say what I want to say, when I want to say it, and how I want to say it. So if you want to jump in, make sure you subscribe to us over on Rumble. Shout out to Super Straight 77, Seraph, June, and Seraph again, to our people over on Rumble. Of course, big thank you to everybody who's donated to the channel in the past. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Obviously, the microplastics are on my lungs, which is why I'm starting to cough now. But big thank you to everybody. And aside from all that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 3. Don't forget to spread the rise of intelligence. Peace out, and good night.
Into the light we go.